fans, we're back with another fine edition of working on a custom Mandalorian. Please ignore my dog in the background. She's being a bitch. She's a female dog, so that's an accurate statement. All right, so this is the helmet after one layer of Bondo glazing spot putty and a filler primer. So we've got most of the issues taken care of. We'll sand this back down, and then we're going to need some more Bondo. You can see up here, there, probably some along the bottom edges as well. But for the most part, this is pretty much ready to go after a sanding. Let's see what other pieces we have here. So the hand plates, I've got the Bondo that's dried, so we're going to be sanding a lot of the Bondo today. So that's dried. These pieces I'd already sanded, so I've got, found the thighs. So Brandon, I did find the thighs. Very cool thighs. These are already, you can see I'd Bondoed those and sanded these down again. So these are ready for another layer of filler primer. And that's what we're going to be doing today, is just basically sanding this stuff down and making it pretty. So if you have any questions about what we're doing during the process, please let me know. Happy to answer. Happy to answer. Yeah, and glazing spot putty basically fills those places where the lines are extreme. Otherwise, just filler primer will really take care of that for you. But where the lines get really extreme, you've got to come down with some Bondo glazing spot putty. And I'm using just this is a 100 here. 100 grit, and then I've got some 220 actually. I don't want the 100. I want the 220. So some 220 grit. And a lot of people really don't like the sanding process. I almost find it therapeutic. The sanding has never really bothered me. Taping, on the other hand, taping a helmet for paint, that I don't enjoy. Yo, JJ is obese. Happy birthday. Now lose some weight. And welcome aboard Squid 388. Absolutely, man. Lines available upon request. So these are the shins. And again, I love this, the armor that he got here. This is a very cool set. It's by Minute Fit, Buck the Mando. So, and again, glazing spot putty on top there, and then you're just sanding it down. I'll be here probably. Should probably be wearing a mask with this. Don't do it the way I do it. This stuff is quite toxic. You don't want to be breathing it in. But I was also born in the 70s, raised in the 70s and 80s, so toxins they do not attach to me. I've got that Gen X metabolism. Raised on hose water. And feral intentions. So after I sand all of these down, I do, of course, rinse them off. I wash them all off. You don't want any of that dust on there when you're applying paint. But you're going to end up with something that looks something like this. And at this point, too, you can't really visually, I mean, like visually, it looks like there's layer lines there, but that's just the look of it. This is actually quite smooth, so you need to kind of rely more on feel at this point. It's because your eyes will deceive you with all the layers that you're sanding down to. Shoulder bell. I got a little block just to get some pressure here on this. And this is really the process for finishing any kind of 3D print. Sand it, start with a layer of filler primer, and then that'll kind of show you where you need to do the heavy touch-ups. The heavy touch-ups are going to be done with Bondo glazing spot putty, and that's what I'm sanding off here. So you paint it, sand it, rinse it, Bondo, sand it, rinse it, paint it, sand it, rinse it, so on and so forth. Rinse, lather, repeat. I see a couple places where I should have put some Bondo, but I didn't. I don't know if you can see in there, but there's slight layer lines right in there that I'll have to take care of as well. And it's always a process like that. Aha, the blaster. So he got a very cool West Star that I'll be doing up in a kind of a darker Beskar black on the handle here. It's gonna look really cool. It's gonna look really, really cool. guy that can invent something where you just put this, like, you know, in a thing of water and it sands it for you, that guy's gonna be awesome. It'll happen. Stuff just keeps getting easier and easier, or resin printing will become so popular and inexpensive that people will just start resin printing all these, and we will not have anywhere near the amount of finishing involved. But also the extra work that you put in the beginning, that's what's going to save you a whole lot of work in the back end, and it's going to ultimately make it look a whole lot better. So put in the work, people. Put in the work. Sanded. So I'm working on custom Mandalorian armor for a friend of mine, Brandon. So we've got the helmet, chest piece with the little ab piece there, a couple shoulder bells, and a couple lower leg, a pair of thighs, and a couple gauntlets, like so. Hand plates, other things. This is a Westar blaster that I'm working on right now. Hey Ike, what's up, man? What's up? No, it's the shoulder pad is very distinct, but no, this is a custom Mandalorian. It does look Space Marine-esque, but yeah, the Westar blaster. This is the friend of Mini a Mandalorian. Mini a Mandalorian. All right, next up, another thigh piece. And again, very cool thighs. Very, very cool thighs. Early on like this is kind of the exploratory phase of figuring out where you need to do the work on the pieces. The biggest amount of work on this armor that he provided me was definitely the helmet, and I've gotten the helmet to the point where it's almost ready to paint. So these smaller pieces are just some fine details. The helmet, it looks very, I know you thought it was Boba or Jango Fett. The helmet is very much a Din helmet. Matter of fact, I think that might be Din's helmet. I'm not sure exactly, but this looks like a Mandalorian Din Djarin helmet. Boba and his dad, theirs was, you know, Jango was kind of like that. Bigger face got there. But this will be a custom Mandalorian that he's going to submit to the Mandalorian Mercs. He gave me a color scheme, but gave me freedom on painting it, so I'm kind of excited about that. I love the look of these things when you start to get them sanded down. They just get a really cool, you know, shaded textured. It's almost like the desert mountains or something, mesas in Arizona. I really love that cool look. Look cool. And I'm using a 220 grit to do this work here. Yeah, so this will probably need another layer of glazing spot putty. You can see all the layer lines there. This is what we're trying to get rid of. And they're going to be more prevalent in parts than other parts, but yeah, that's what we're trying to get rid of. All right, on to this bad boy. The paint scheme that he went with, it's going to be a purple and gold. Got those two colors on it. It's purple with some gold accents. Just a few more pieces to go and we are sanded off, ready. Hello, Andy Smith. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. It's a couple more pieces. Gauntlet. There'll be a couple pieces that I just know already I'm going to have to come back and do some more Bondo on. A little bit on the helmet and probably on the back ends and front ends of each of these gauntlets where the layer lines were really extreme. I'll have to come through and do another round of this, but for the most part, it's just going to be filler primer and sanding from here out. Last piece. All right, there we go. What's up, Trenton? I am well. How are you? I hope all is well in your world. All right, so that's it for the sanding of this. Next step, I'm going to take all this, rinse all the pieces off, let them dry, and then we're going to be throwing on some filler primer again to see what else needs to be worked on. Oh, congratulations, Red Apple Rotator. I'm glad that you're gay. Way to go. Is this a coming out? If you're coming out, you know, maybe a little more recognition is needed. I'm not sure. Yeah, way to go for being gay. Filler primer next. That's it. Sweat is starting to drip down my brow. So that's it for me for right now. I'm going to take this into the kitchen, rinse these off, do some spray paint later. But as always, y'all, I'm Darth Rage. This is Darth Rage Reviews, your source for the Force.